All right, guys. Gavin Newsom, shockingly, is doing something based. Now, obviously, the devil is in the details, and it would have to be, the implementation has to be correct, and all that. That goes without saying. But look at this. California is going to make its own insulin. It's simple. People should not go into debt to get life-saving medication. All right, let's see what he says.
On my first day in office, I signed an executive order to put California on the path towards creating our own prescription drugs. And now it's happening. California is going to make its own insulin.
All right, let me just say, I know this is me being an asshole, but even when he's doing something based that I agree with, I just hate his like politician shtick, you know? I'm going to do the 1990s politician point. You see me doing it? Look at how I'm pointing. It's not like this because that's too aggressive. It's like this because that's serious. His whole like, it's like he wakes up in the morning, slicks his hair back and says, how can I come across like the sleaziest, most standard politician imaginable? It's really something to witness. Anyway, let's continue.
Nothing epitomizes market failures more than the cost of insulin. Many Americans experience out-of-pocket costs anywhere from $300 to $500 per month for this life-saving drug. California is now taking matters into our own hands. The budget I just signed sets aside $100 million so that we can contract to make our own insulin at a cheaper price, close to at cost, and to make it available to all. $50 million will go towards the development of low-cost insulin products, and an additional $50 million will go towards a California-based insulin manufacturing facility that will provide new, high-paying jobs and a stronger supply chain for the drug. Because in California, we know people should not go into debt to receive life-saving medication.
Okay. Look, there's no way to sugarcoat this. That's based. That's based. And I love that he's doing this. Now, couple issues with it. I don't like the, low cost. We're going to like sell it close to at cost. Look, if you're taking California taxpayer money, 100 million of it, and you're putting that towards this project to create the insulin, use the tax money to fund it so people can get it for free. If they're already paying it with their tax dollars, they shouldn't have to pay anything extra for it, right? So that is an issue I have with it. But however, having said that, yeah, if you're making it, it's going to be way better than the way it currently works, is the point. You know, the massive markups from pharma companies where people can't afford it. Sounds like they're going to sell it at a price that is reasonable where people can actually pay for it. Which is, again, it should be free. It's not, but that's way better than what we currently have. Now, Gavin Newsom, in other ways, total scumbag. I mean, there's a guy who campaigned on Medicare for All, said he believes in Medicare for All. Then we had the opportunity to have it come up for a vote, and he made sure it never came up for a vote. So he's in the pocket of the big insurance companies. There's no doubt about that. But this insulin move, again, if he follows through and if the execution is correct, it's huge. And then you have a precedent, and hopefully every state can make their own either insulin or whatever medications they can. And that will help people a lot because the pharma companies are straight up pirates. I mean, they are robbing people blind, and a lot of people can't afford their medication. So just to put this in perspective for everybody, U.S. insulin price 8 times higher than in other countries. Even with rebates and discounts, the U.S. consumer pays up to 4 times the average paid in other high-income countries. And then we got the classic, good old Bernard Sanders tweet here. This was something that he talked about quite a few times on the campaign trail. The cost to manufacture 1 vial of insulin, around $6. The cost of 1 vial of insulin for consumers, you have all these other countries, right? $9, $11, $14, $7, $7, $12, and in the U.S., $98. We are way, way above and beyond other countries. So what Newsom is doing here is necessary. I mean, look, you want to have a separate conversation. If you want to talk like ideal solutions, yeah, either nationalizing the pharma industry or mandating only a certain amount of profit margin. Like Mark Cuban is doing something now, which is actually genuinely good as well. I think, what's he call it? Like cost plus 15% or something like that. So in other words, he buys drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, and then he sells them to other people at only a 15% markup, which again is way better than what the pharma companies do. I mean, they'll jack it up absurd profit margins on it. So like, you could either, if you nationalize big pharma, that's one way to like solve the problem of the super expensive drugs. Or if you mandate only X amount profit margin, that's another way to handle it. Or like Newsom is doing, let's just have the various states make our own medication, and then that's another way to get it cheaper to people. So I like it. I think it's great, and I hope it's something that other states follow in their footsteps. But now the question is the implementation of it. The devil, of course, is in the details. And is Big Pharma going to try to step in and crush it in the same way that the health insurance companies crushed the single payer programs in various states? I think Vermont was one of them. Obviously, in California, the health insurance industry played a big role in making sure single payer didn't come up for a vote at all. But anyway, there you have it. Really interesting news. I hope it succeeds. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.